It's time to predict the scores of week 45 of this 2022-2023 championship season. Congratulations to Burnley for becoming champions of the championship this season. These games though for game week 45 take place on Friday the 28th of April running through to Wednesday the 3rd of May. 13 games to predict. Games still going on this evening, which at the time of recording is on Wednesday the 26th of April, Thursday the 27th, before we get into our predictions for Friday. So first up on Friday evening, we have Blackpool taking on Millwall at Bloomfield Road. Blackpool, 2 victories in their last 7 matches, and Millwall just 1 win in their last 7. Millwall just outside the playoff places in 7th position on 65 points, so they've sort of fallen off a cliff. Blackpool fighting for their lives, currently in 23rd position, and they really need to win this match if they have got any hope of staying in the championship for another season. I think they'll cancel each other out though. Millwall have to win as well, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline. We then move on to Ewood Park, where Blackburn Rovers take on Luton Town. Luton Town in imperious form at the moment. They are in 3rd position. They pretty much, they have cemented themselves inside the playoff picture, although they'll want a win to finish 3rd as well. Blackburn Rovers, no wins in the last 7 matches, and in the last fixture they lost at home against bitter rivals Burnley, where Burnley of course took the championship. In this game, I fancy Luton Hatters to take all 3 points, 2-1 away win. We then move on to Ashton Gate, where both of these sides have nothing to play for now apart from pride. Bristol City 2 wins in the last 7 matches, and Burnley 3 wins in the last 7 matches. And as we've already said, they beat Blackburn in their last fixture 1-0 in this one. I think it's going to end up in a draw, 1-1. We then move on to the Cardiff City Stadium, which actually takes place on Sunday, where the Bluebirds take on Huddersfield. Now, depending on what happens on Thursday night with Cardiff City against Rotherham, will have a massive bearing on this match. Neil Warnock going back to one of his former clubs as well. Cardiff not doing too great at home, been playing a lot better away from home. I fancy Desmond's in this one. Lots of goals. 2-2. We then move on to the Ricoh Arena, where Coventry City take on Birmingham. Coventry, currently in 5th position, need 3 points really to make sure they stay in that playoff picture as well. Birmingham, they are safe now for another season in the championship. I fancy the Sky Blues to take all 3 points in this one, 3-1. We then move on to the MKM Stadium, where the Tigers, Hull City take on Swansea. Swansea, the form team of the division, with 6 wins in their last 7 matches. Hull City, a good win in last game against the hapless Watford. I fancy the Jacks to take all 3 points in this one. It might be too little too late for them though to actually sneak into the playoffs, but I am going to go for a 2-1 away win to Swansea. Then we move on to Majesty Stadium, where Reading take on Wigan Athletic, who are really fighting for their lives at the bottom of the table, even after a points deduction. Back-to-back wins against Millwall and Stoke have given them a fighting chance of retaining their status in the championship. Reading, no wins in the last 7 matches. I think the Latics will come away with a 2-1 victory. We then move on to the New York Stadium, where Rotherham take on Middlesbrough, and depending on how things have worked out on Thursday evening against Cardiff, will have again a massive bearing on this match. Middlesbrough should have too much quality for an injury ravaged Rotherham, you could say, and I think Middlesbrough will come away with a 2-0 win. Then we move on to Bramall Lane, while Sheffield Utd, playing catch-up, take on Preston North End. Sheffield just need I think it's a point to confirm their status in the Premier League next season. It's 5 wins in the last 7 matches, and I think they'll win this one 1-0 against Preston, who've got designs on a playoff spot themselves. However, I think they'll be in the championship again for another season. Then we move on to the Bet365 Stadium, where Stoke City take on QPR. QPR, just 1 defeat in their last 3 matches, really kind of turning fortunes around recently. However, always a tough place to go is Stoke, and I think this one's going to end up 1-1. Then we move to the Stadium Light, where the Black Cats Sunderland take on Watford. Watford 4 defeats in their last 6 matches, and Sunderland 3 wins in their last 4 games. I think they're going to come away with a 2-0 home win, which should see them cemented in the playoff picture. Then we move on to the Hawthorns, where West Brom take on Norwich. Both of these sides need to gain all 3 points to have any chance of getting into that playoff picture, and I think West Brom at home will take all 3 points with a 2-1 home win, where the Canaries have only won once in their last 7 matches. We then move on to the final fixture of this game week, where Huddersfield take on Sheffield United. Sheffield United should have confirmed their place in the Premier League at this point. 5 wins in their last 6 matches, and Huddersfield only 1 defeat in their last 7 games, and this may be the match which they'll need to win to make sure of their status in the Championship next season, and I think they will, surprisingly, if you look at the league table, and I think the Terriers will come away with a 2-1 home win. So that concludes my predictions for game week 45 of this 2022-2023 Championship season. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Super Brew website and as a comment as well, because I read each and every comment. We're almost there, guys. We've almost reached the end of the season. Just 1 more game week to go. Enjoy the football over the weekend and in midweek, and I'll see you all in the next video.